Alright, what's up guys? I'm getting the planter ready there with the tractor, but right now we're going to be spreading some fertilizer out on this little area. But right here I got some 17-17-17. I put some nitrogen in there and some 0060, so we're just going to be spreading along in here a little. I'm not going to do corn the whole thing, just on the edges, so mainly on there. Then we're going to go to the backfield and spread a lot of it all over that. So yep. Got the tiller, the tractor. You can see there's some of it. We went around a couple times and got it all over. I just put it all over all of it. So we're gonna work it in quick and then plant tomorrow. So I got this field and then the ones out back. So it's gonna take a while to till, pretty quick to fertilize, but that's what I'm doing right now. So I'll let you know. Alright, I just got done tilling it. All the fertilizer is under the soil now. I probably won't even be able to find it, but there it looks really nice. There's still some moisture in there, which is nice, but there was some dust flying when I was doing it, so hopefully we'll be able to plant tomorrow. I gotta get the rest of it in. I'm not planting all the way down here because I might plant pumpkins, or my mom does a little garden, but there's moisture right down in there. So we're gonna go do some of the back field and see how that is. Alright, we're back in the backfield. It's a little over 2 acres, so I'm gonna plant more corn. So I loaded up with everything, but put more nitrogen in there, so more urea. So hopefully it'll cover at least this, and then I might have to go get more bags for that area. So let's go. Alright, put the rest of the fertilizer in there just for this little chunk, so it shouldn't take long. Then I gotta go and till it all in, work it all in, and you can see the weeds are dying, they're turning yellow, so yep, let's get this done. Alright, probably a quarter of the way done. Yeah, they're done. Hopefully we'll get her done within an hour or two, so I'll show you when I'm done. Alright, so we got the planter all hooked up. We had to switch it to the 2606 because of the hydraulic cylinder wouldn't work with the 1206, but I got my graphite out to put in the seed boxes, so I'm gonna get my seed and fill up some of the hoppers here. So we'll get that in, then we might plant a little today. So alright, got my corn in there. Also put some graphite in each box, so we probably got enough to get through some of it. So I'm gonna mix up the graphite in there and put it down there, and we're gonna go out over there and start planting. So let's go. All right, we just went up a little bit, so we're gonna see if we're planting and how deep we're planting and all that. So there's a seed right there. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna go see how deep that is. All right, it's about 2 inches, 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So now I'm gonna try to find another seed over here and see how far away it is. There it is, right there. Those two look a little close. No, that's actually a good distance. 6.5, that's perfect. So she's actually planting perfect on this row, so we're just gonna check the rest and make sure they're all doing the same. All right, we got seed in all 4 rows. They're about 2 inches deep. It's extra fluffy here, so that's why it's going deeper. And they're about 6.5 inches spacing, so I'm gonna just do 2 passes here and then we're gonna move on, so let's go. I got all this planted right here, just 2 swipes, and I got a little bit down here. We're coming in the backfield. My seed boxes are still a quarter full, so I'm probably gonna go until they're about empty. So I think I'm gonna seed most of this in corn, and then we'll see how we do from there. All right, it's now 3 days later after I planted my corn. I got it all ready with all my soybean and inoculant. You can see where we did our corn already over here. We're just gonna, and all around, we're just gonna go next to it, up in front of the blind and around. So hopefully it works good. Let's go. All right, it's all planting good. I made it go a little bit shallower, so let's go back and keep planting. All right, it's now July 16th. It's a couple months after planting. It looks terrible right here, but this is very, like, there's a lot of horse manure here. So like we just got like over an inch of rain, and right there, there's just no moisture. So this corn, it's not that good on these outside rows. Like they're knee high, but they're just not doing the best. And then down there it gets better. I did just spray this 3 days ago, so it's gonna hopefully start dying. But this stuff is up to my chest. But yeah, this dirt up here, just no moisture goes through. Like, it's dry after just getting over an inch of rain, which is crazy. But it gets taller in here. It's gonna start tasseling out soon. Like, this stuff is up to my head. And it gets better down there, but we had a lot of volunteer canola come back. And I sprayed this really late. I was busy, so you can tell not all of it came in, and then the deer ate it, so we fenced it off. But yeah, it's nice in some of these areas. I don't know how much they'll come over here to eat this corn because it's kind of by the pastures, but it stands right there. It's mainly a screen, but the soybeans are doing pretty well. you can tell the deer still got in here over the fence and really mowed it down quite a bit. But those beans over there are pretty good. Yeah, look at these, just still all mowed down. And the corn's actually better over here. This is better dirt over here, but yeah, I mean, beans are up to my knees. These beans are tall right here. Beans are above my knees. Yeah. So they are on 30-inch rows. So don't think they will canopy over. But this grew up in weeds, and so I sprayed it, mowed it down, and dissed it up today. And I just planted oats and wheat, and then I'm gonna put some sugar beets and turnips in here. But yeah, there's some wheat seeds and oat seeds up in there. I know, I sprayed this too, it's really weedy, but like down there, the corn's amazing. Yeah, this stuff is almost to my head. They will probably eat this. I did cut my alfalfa right there the other day, and there's oats in there too. But down here, on this end, this corn's above my head, which is crazy. Same up there. And I sprayed it with glyphosate, so it'll take a couple days for it to start to die, but I mean, you can see it's starting to turn yellow. So it should die once the heat picks back up. We had like a week with no rain, and it was all 90-some degree days. But yeah, this corn it's pretty tall. Walking. Yeah, so I'm walking in here, and pretty good height corn. Then you get over here where it's not the best, but like, look at this is tasseled, which is weird because of how short it is. But it should be tasseling soon. There's some short stuff, there's some tall stuff. And then, yeah, it gets pretty tall again over in here. So, this stuff is good, but the stuff behind the house is way better. But this is pretty tall. I'm hoping the weeds die in it after I sprayed. But yeah. The soybeans on the other end, you can tell where I sprayed it. It killed it perfectly. And yeah, I think the deer will come out of there. I have a camera over there. Through the corn, into the beans, and the oats and wheat, but mainly the beans. I think it'll be amazing. I'm hoping it will be. Here's some crappy corn over here. But then, like, look at those beans are starting to get pods on them. But yeah, try to find some of this canola. Yeah, here's some canola. I mean, I had this all in canola last year, but I sprayed it, but it still came back. So I'll try to find there's some big canola plants in here, so I'll try to find one. Here's a pretty good one. It's got a lot of pods on it. Same with this one. There's a lot of canola down here. Here's a really good one, already fallen over. Put it in 0.5. That's one plant. I can't even get it all in my hand. Yeah. It's a lot of canola seeds. The turkeys like it, so that's why I didn't spray this. Because I'll have a little bit of the canola. Well, it smells like crap about now. But I did plant canola across there, but I can't spray it because I don't have that kind of seed. I mean, you can see some of the flowering, but there's a lot of weeds in there. And then I was messing with my planter over there, so there's corn and soybeans. But then I planted durum over there, and the deer have been eating that pretty good. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here and go back over there and show you the front field. All right, here's the corn behind the house. It's over 6 feet tall now. It's really high. Yeah, this is probably the best dirt that we have here. One of my rows didn't plant, so I came through and hand planted, and that one's head high too, but this stuff is over my head. So yeah, if we come over here, it's really, you can tell it gets shorter in there, but I mean, this is probably my biggest stalk that I have here. That's probably 7 feet tall. Hopefully we'll be tasseling out soon. Here's a tassel. A couple of them got tassels. But yeah, this corn's pretty good. And then over there's not as good at all, but then we got some turnips and stuff growing over here. But I sprayed this because the weeds were growing, but there's some soybeans in there. Yeah, this stuff's a lot shorter. Knee high though. But that stuff is just so dark green. And you can tell where the soil gets poor. I did spray this too. But a lot of these did get eaten down by the deer in here because this isn't fenced off. But this is still up to my shoulder. And then this is just terrible. You can kind of tell that it's starting to die. I slump over. The soybeans aren't as good in here either. But then these end rows are pretty poor. A lot of them got eaten down too. This row got completely eaten. But this is about shoulder high too. And then, all right, here's my last field with some corn in it, just as a screen from here. And then we got wheat, oats, turnips, radishes, and some canola. I mean, it's coming up really good. I planted that only 3 weeks ago. Let me get this. But my corn's doing pretty good. It's head high. That stuff is a little shorter, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Should be tasseling here soon, just like the rest. Yeah, big stalks on it, all the way down. This ground always has good corn. So hopefully we get a lot of corn out of here. It's mainly just a screen from the horses, because we used to have a stand in here, but we hunt back in there. But yeah, I think next year I'm gonna do more corn or something like all corn or all beans and start doing that kind of rotation. But yeah, there's the update. Hopefully I can get a lot of cobs off it and sell them, and also let the deer eat some of them. But yeah, there's that.